Hello and welcome everyone to my channel. I offer guided art tutorials on the Procreate app. This is your time to relax and unwind, so grab a beverage and let's dive in. New videos are put out every Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you like the channel, please like and subscribe. If you have any advice for me on how I can better my channel, please put it down in the comments below. Or if you have any ideas on what we can create next, please leave it down in the comments below. Let's get into it. Step number one, we're going to be creating a new canvas. You can just do the simple screen size, or if you're planning on printing your design, maybe you would like to go with a bigger size. I always switch it to inches and I go 16-inch width by 20 inches in height. Step number two, we're going to be downloading the color palette. I made a custom color palette and it's in the description box below. And we're going to start with the background. So the first color of the color palette, we're going to drag the color to fill the background. The second color is an aqua green color, and I just use it. You can use any brush, just a round brush, and add a little bit of green to the top right-hand corner. I then smudged it out with the smudge tool. Next, using the cloud brush in the elements section, I use the white color, and we're just going to add some clouds to the top of the screen here. And then we're going to blend out the bottom of the clouds, just so they're a little bit more soft. Step number four, we're going to do the trees and then add the haze. We're going to go into the layers section. We're going to add a second layer. So I picked the syrup brush in the inking section, and I found that one to be my favorite. And then I grabbed a dark green color. It's in the top row towards the middle. And then I draw a guideline. You don't have to do this. I did it just so I can follow along. And then we're going to scribble in some trees. You can always go back to it after and fix it up. Kind of the messier, the better, because it looks more organic that way. It also kind of adds like a cute little aesthetic into the illustration when everything's a little bit more loose and scribbled. So I'm going to drag that color and we're going to fill in that bottom section so we're all in one section here. So in our third layer, we're going to add to our layer section, add a third layer. And this is where we're going to add the haze. So if we go in and we pick the cloud brush again, we're going to add a little bit of haze to the left-hand side mostly, using a light green color. I skipped too far ahead. I went back into the tree layer and we added a little bit of highlights to those trees using a light green color. So this color is to the right of that dark green color that we used originally for the trees. You can do it as messy as you want here, or if you're a perfectionist, you can spend your time at it. So the next thing we're going to add another layer. So this should be layer number 4, and we're going to add another layer of trees in the forefront. So I put in my guideline. We're using a dark green color. I believe it's the last color on the top row of the palette. And we're going to do this exact same thing, and we're going to scribble in some trees. And this is using that syrup inking brush. If at any point this is going too fast for you, you can pause and catch up. Almost done. And then I just carry it through with a straight line, and then we fill in that section of trees completely with the same color. So you're going to see a brown color on the middle row of the palette and then a green color that's next to it, light green color. We're going to be using those two colors right now. So you can see that I added some green towards the bottom, and then I'm roughly just streaking in some trees. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that light green color that's next to the brown, and we're going to kind of roughly be putting in some trees that are, again, in the forefront of the painting. This ends up coming together nicely, so yeah, you don't need to be too careful of where you put these lines. The only thing we want to do is we don't want to put too much where the house is going to go. And I'll show you kind of that blank space there towards the left-hand side would be where the house is going to go. And then we just finish that off. Next, we're going to add a light green to the tops of the trees. This green color is to the left of the brown color that we used. And we're just going to subtly add a few spots. Don't overdo it too much here. Okay, step number 5, we're going to be doing the water. So the colors for the water are on the bottom row on the left-hand side. So I take the first color, bottom row, left-hand side, that dark brown, or dark blue, I should say, and then we work up to lighter blues. So the darkest blue should be underneath where that first island is, and then we work our way to lighter colors. And on the left-hand side, I just added a little bit of a white highlight. Couple streaks in the water, and then I blend everything together with the smudge tool. Step number 6 is the house and the reflection in the water. So we are going to create another layer, another layer on top of this. We're going to take a gray color. That color is the second color on the bottom row. And then the darker color next to it. And we're just adding rocks to the shoreline. Lighter colors on top, and then the darker color towards the water, towards the bottom. So the shoreline and the house are going to be on the same layer. And then you take the red color, you make a really, again, you can do it perfectly if you want. I wanted it to have that illustrated effect. So I took, you make a box and then a triangle on top of it. And then you take the burgundy color that's next to the red, to the right of it, and you add a roof and a little step. You're going to click this layer and you're going to alpha lock it. And then you're going to use a round brush and just add a little bit of a highlight and then a shadow towards the peak of the house. And then I just added some shadowing underneath the peak. A few little details in the step. And then lastly, I put some lines on the front of the house. I then went into the layers. I added another layer. So I'm on layer number 7. And I'm going to draw some windows and a door. And we're going to drag and drop the colors into these sections. Light colors for the windows and then brown for the door. So then what we're going to do is go into the layers section And I grab layer number 7 and 6, so that's the windows in the house. I drag them on top of each other to create a new group. When you click on that, on the left-hand side, the word flatten appears. You click that, so it makes it into one section. Then, if you slide that layer to the left-hand side, you can click duplicate. It brings a menu at the bottom, which you can see now, and you click flip vertically. Then in that layer that's in the water now, you press that N on that layer and you can lower the opacity to 40%, which is what I was just doing. You can pause it at any point and go back if that was too quick for you. So next I added the smoke to the house, and I do 3 different variations here. The first one I used the cloud brush with a white color. This one wasn't my favorite. Next I used the smoke brush in the elements section. Better, but still not my favorite. And then the last one was the groovy brush in the vintage section. This one I like the best. So I used a darker gray first, and then I went and highlighted with white. And that is pretty much it. So I do end up animating this, which you'll see in a second. If you are interested in the animation process, I can go in more depth in another video, but I do have a video out. I'll link it in the description box below. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave any advice for me or words of encouragement in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day.